Okay, so today I'm going to do a little bit of instruction into how to use your intuition using websites. So if you don't want to invest yet in the tarot deck, or if you just want to explore new decks without having to purchase them, this is a fun way to do it. It's also just something nice to do if you're, at your desk and maybe you're away from any decks that you have. And it's also just a nice way to practice intuition if that's something that you're trying to build up. So I'm at the Llewellyn Worldwide website, and I'm going to post the link uh, in the description below to how to get to where the tarot reading tool is on the website, because it's a little hard to find. But Llewellyn is just a publisher of, like it says here, Mind, Body, and Spirit books. They, if you look on the left-hand side here, they publish decks and kits, tarot accessories, information on divination. They have all kinds of things here. So if you're interested in anything, and I just recently purchased this for next year, Llewellyn's 2019 Witches Date Book, anything about astrology, magical fairy calendar. So basically anything, if you're interested in, shamanism or metaphysical or the esoteric or anything related to spirituality, really, that's not necessarily mainstream, then you can find it at Llewellyn. But I also like their app here. Now, a lot of people think that in order to do a tarot reading, you have to have physical cards, and that just isn't the case. I mean, you can tap into this. You can use these tools. This is a tool as well. This website is a tool that can be used to help you tap into your intuitive knowing. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do this by performing a reading. So first, I'm going to select the deck that I'm going to use. I'm going to start out with this Shapeshifter deck because I just think it's an interesting deck, and we'll look at another one after this. But this reading is the intention is for this reading to be pertinent to anyone who happens to be watching. So if you're watching this, it's pertinent to you. There are different spreads that you can choose from. I'm using the past, present, and future spread just because I like to work with 3 cards at a time. That's one of the easiest ways for me to read, just 3 cards at a time, interpret those, and if I need to draw more, I can. But I like to just start with 3 cards. So I'm not necessarily interpreting it as a past, present, and future. I'm just choosing that spread because I like the 3 cards. But because I would hope that those of you who are watching this are interested in increasing your own intuition, if you feel called to interpret the cards for yourself as you see them, you should also pay attention to your own intuitive insights as you're watching this video. Maybe the cards do have meaning for you in more of a past, present, future kind of a way. So listen to what I'm saying and see how it resonates for you, and also listen to your own intuitive knowing. Okay, so think of an object or a concern. If you'd like, you can do that. You can always choose reversals or not. For now, I'm just not going to use reversed cards. And so my intention is that this is going to be for anyone watching. This is probably going to be more of a spiritual message, but we'll see what we have in store here. So show tarot reading. Okay, so we have the Mother, Mastery, and Sorcerer. Okay. All right. So the Mother, the first thing I'm getting here is that this is about acts of creation. So there's something that you want to give birth to. You want to be the mother to something. And this could be an actual child, but for most of you, it's probably going to be something else. Maybe there's a new kind of situation that you want to bring into your life. Maybe you're wanting to create something artistically, or you just want to create a new pathway for yourself in terms of your career life. And I like this deck because it's called the Shapeshifter deck, but it has a lot of spirit animal messages. So there's a white winged horse here, also known as a Pegasus. I can't tell if there's a horn or not. So it might be a unicorn, but definitely at least it's a Pegasus. And that's my cat meowing in the background. I'm sorry. She wants to give her own spirit animal message to the reading. But yeah, so this woman is also holding a red, some kind of red object in her hand. My first impression was of an apple, which reminds me of Eve. And so there's Eve energy here as well. You know, Eve gave in to temptations and desires, or she's kind of blamed for that. So it's kind of like, not feeling bad about desires that you have too, in terms of what you want to create. It's not wrong for you to want to create something. And, I see the cosmos swirling above your head. There seems to be like a cosmic awareness that's coming to you. So you want to continue to allow that cosmic guidance in. The wings are coming out from her shoulders as well. So you see that, she's very connected to her own power and her to bring her creations into being. There's some orbs around her. So I'm feeling like, again, there's assistance from spirit here. Whatever it is that you're wanting to bring into being, there's a lot of assistance from spirit. This green energy here makes me think of heart chakra energy. So if you're drawn towards something that requires a lot of very compassionate love, service to others, then this is a confirmation that if you're coming at it from a place of being able to serve and uplift others, then you're definitely on the right track. Mastery. The seeker has come through a time of inner or outer crisis and is facing the rewards of positive action and reaction. So this is telling me that you've already made some very positive steps towards this direction that you're wanting to take in your life, whatever you're wanting to give birth to. There's already roots here. See, this tree is already flourishing. So this is not something this isn't like, we're not talking about something completely new. So this message is about something that you have been actually working on for a while. Maybe you're wanting to take it into a different direction. So let's say, for example, if you had a business and you had been, working on that business for a while, but now you have a new idea, a new inspiration for how to take it maybe in a slightly different direction or just do something new with it. This is telling you, yes, you have good, solid roots here. It looks like there's a woman here, and she's sort of shape-shifting into this pool of water. And they're beautiful yellow flowers. The color yellow is associated with the solar plexus chakra, which is about our will to act. So you've been willing to act on your passions before, and this message is trying to remind you of, when you acted on things before, look what happened. You planted a seed, and what grew from that seed? A beautiful tree. So you can expect that the seeds that you're planting now are also going to be fruitful. And it looks like there's maybe a little skunk here in the background. So if skunk energy feels relevant for you, you might want to look that up. A lot of times if I'm getting, lately I've been getting flamingo message. So, if you have something like that, just look it up. Let's see, skunk, spirit, animal. And I like to look at different ones and just see, what different people say about it and feel what resonates for me. I don't even know, honestly, if that is a skunk, but it kind of looks like a skunk to me. Could also be a raccoon, maybe. But just as an example of how to, again, practice and stay in touch with your connection to spirit as you're growing your intuition. Skunks are humble, yet oh so very powerful. The little animal deserves a great deal of respect, even though he is very independent. He has gained that independence through his tireless efforts at protecting himself and his interests. He may not be vicious, but his repulsive scent will ward off the most aggressive adversary. protection, independence, and self-respect. Okay. So, you know, as you go through this process of creating your dreams, planting those seeds and seeing them to fruition, you know, you've already had so much tenacity and able to be able to get to where you are now. So I think it's another reminder of that, that you're very strong, you're very independent, and you can make things happen. And this sorcerer at the bottom, which is the same as the magician and many other decks, is also reminding you of how many skills and talents you have. And this description here is also talking about being able to walk in both worlds, the world of spirit and then the world of tangible reality. So this is a reminder as well that whatever you're trying to create, I like to use the metaphor of a prism. So if we think of what a prism is, it takes invisible light that we cannot visibly see. So we can think of that as spirit or God energy. It's hard to see God energy because we're here in this physical world where everything is based around, you know, material stuff, you know, jobs, time clocks, paperwork, you know, doing the dishes, taking out the trash. So it's a very material world that we're in, which is very different from spirit. But the two can come together, which is how we create heaven on earth. And to extend that metaphor of the prism, we're allowing the light of God to pass through us. We are the prism that allows that light to come out the other side of us in this beautiful array, this spectrum of light, this rainbow. So we allow the light of God to shine through us so that it can become visible and accessible to people in the material world. So again, whatever it is that you're trying to do, Spirit is telling you, yes, we see that you are trying to bring God's love into the world in a way in which people can access it. So for some of you, this may be creating art so that people can see the beauty of God in your art. For other people, it may be acts of service. Maybe you're a counselor or you're a nurse. Maybe you're a teacher and you bring the Spirit of God into the world through your work as a teacher. But whatever this is, it feels like it's something that you've already been on this path for some time. So it's not an entirely new role. The role itself isn't new, whether it's teacher, counselor, healer, what else could be, writer, artist, diplomat, politician, you know, whatever it is, however you're trying to bring the light and love of God into the world so that people can access it. You're being told, you know, that your roots are very strong. You already have a very strong degree of mastery. So you're really just being encouraged. That's the main message that I'm getting here. You're being encouraged and being reminded of all the skills that you have. So I'm going to just draw from a different deck here. I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot deck. And I would encourage you, if you like the idea of using a website, to come back here. Again, the link is going to be in the description. You can play around with different spreads, which are pretty cool. I'm going to sticking into the 3-card spread, just looking at a deck that's more of a Rider-Waite type deck to extend the reading that we've already done or to provide additional information. Okay, and we're getting the Knight of Swords, the Star, and Temperance. Okay, so your goal is in sight. You're very single-minded. You know exactly what you want to do and precisely how you're going to do it. So yeah, this is telling me that your clarity is very strong. So I guess you would already know that your clarity is very strong. But if you don't know it, Spirit is saying, hello, you know, you've been told in so many ways. There's an owl here. You know, you have this inner wisdom, you have this knowing. So just go ahead, do something, do something. You know, the energy is very strong that you just need to do something, and what you do is right. I'm seeing this sword with the light on it. My eye is being drawn to that, and it's just saying, do something, and whatever you do is right. Nothing that you can do, if it's even a step, the tiniest little baby step towards this goal, then you're doing the right thing. So just trust that your vision is clear. Trust that your vision is clear. Stop doubting so much and go ahead and act, because there's a feeling of wanting to act, or there's an acknowledgement that you've already acted and that was very good. That was a good thing to do. The star is just, again, reminding you to have faith, that the seeds you're planting now will come to fruition, and that there's a real sense of divine guidance here. You are being divinely guided. So that's just a reminder of that. We talked about that a little bit before. And finally, temperance. Temperance is telling us that the strength of this situation comes through, in some ways, through trial and error. So again, you're being asked to act, to take action on your goals, and to understand that you're going to refine this as you go. Again, I'm going to go back to this card over here for a second of the tree. When you're planting seeds, just plant seeds. If it feels like a seed, it feels like an action that's good to take, but you're not totally sure how it's going to pan out, well, take it and see what happens. And as you plant different seeds, you'll start to see which ones are bearing more fruit than others, which will again give you a better idea of how to focus your energies for best effect. So it's through trial and error, you're going to become stronger and stronger. And it's also about moderation here, because this message seems to be for someone who is very connected to spirit. But if you're not, it's just saying there needs to be a balance between spirit and matter. In other words, you have to take care of your day-to-day needs. You have to make sure that you eat and that you bathe, and that you look nice and you feel good about yourself. So you have to take care of those. You have to, take care of your daily responsibilities, whatever those may be. But you also need to commune and connect with spirit, and then to bring those two things together, which we've talked about before with the idea of the prism. So the mother, we're giving birth. We have cosmic guidance, cosmic intelligence, divine timing at work here. We have spirit is just around us in so many ways. We have strong roots. We're very capable. And when you look at what you've accomplished already up to this point, you will be able to see that very clearly. Go ahead and take action. You're supported in doing so. You're making the right choices. You are making the right choices. You're being divinely guided. And again, temperance is just telling you that this is, it takes give and take. It takes trial and error. But everything is going to work out very well for you. So that was the end of this reading. I hope you appreciated that. If you did like it, make sure to let me know in the comments, and also to give the video a like as well, and or subscribe. I'm just getting into doing these videos, but I think you'll be seeing more from me, and I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much.